This afternoon, but I give you your Royal Air Force aerobatic team for 2012, the Magnificent Seven. It's the Red Arrows. The team is led by Red 1 squadron leader Jim Turner, who's now called them into 7-arrow formation in that left-hand bend. The jets now close up to be about 8 feet apart as they form one big red arrow in the sky. Jim is a former Jaguar qualified weapons instructor and Jaguar display pilot, and he flew with the Red Arrows from 2005 to 2007. This is his first year as leader. His wife Karen is here at Fairford today, so a very warm welcome to her too. The smoke comes on, the team roll out in 7-arrow. Reds 4 and 5 roll back there to reform that 7-arrow formation.
Now,
the smoke comes on, the team will form shuttle formation. The 4 aircraft on the wings now drop back to be a beam Red 6's aircraft directly behind the leader. And while they're in this position further back, they still fly references from that lead aircraft, just trusting that the jet only 8 feet away is in the correct place. This is shuttle.
coming right now. Turning now, back now, right.
On the very top of the formation is Red 5 squadron leader Martin Higgins. Higgy is the team's executive officer and has rejoined this year, having previously been at Red Arrow from 2005 to 2007. He's a former Hawk flying instructor and Tornado 3 pilot with operational experience in Iraq and as the commander of the air defence flight in the Falkland Islands. In this bend you can see the team have formed a formation we call Lancaster. Higgy's joined here today by Shaun, so a very warm welcome to her too. On the very right of the formation as we look tail on is Red 4, one of our first year pilots, Flight Lieutenant James McMillan. McZ was born in the UK but moved to New Zealand at the age of 10 and eventually joined the Royal New Zealand Air Force. He transferred to the Royal Air Force in 2002, becoming a Hawk flying instructor and eventually flying operationally in the Harrier GR9. As the smoke comes off, the team have formed a formation we call flanker. The outside pilots must anticipate their control inputs to keep the wings straight, so they use the cadence in Red 1's voice commands.
Coming left now. Holding that back now.
This is flanker. As the smoke comes on, Red 1 has called the team into Phoenix formation for an emotional part of this year's routine. When they present Phoenix, Reds 4 and 5 on the outside will smoke red as we remember our lost friends and colleagues, Flight Lieutenant John Egging and Flight Lieutenant Shaun Cunningham, who were both tragically killed in separate accidents last year. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our memorial bend for Eggman and Shaun. Continuing with the theme of remembrance, this year, in fact last week, saw the long-awaited unveiling of the memorial to the Royal Air Force and Commonwealth aircrew from Bomber Command who lost their lives during World War II. The memorial in Green Park in London honours the 55,573 young men who, as volunteers at an average age of only 22, lost their lives for our freedom. So now in Viction formation, and to our right-hand side, we have some red, white and blue as our own tribute to the personnel of Bomber Command.
Battle, go. Coming, right, now. Loading the bank, now. Tight, big.
You can see Red 6 and 7 have dropped back into behind the leader there to form that one big red arrow in the sky. And as the smoke comes on, the team are forming our largest formation shape, which is Concorde. Those 4 aircraft on the wings are now dropping back to be a beam Red 7 right at the back of the formation. And just remember that they're still flying references from that lead aircraft. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Concorde. Second jet from the right as we look tail on is being flown by another of our first year pilots, Red 2, Flight Lieutenant Martin Pert. Perty is another former Hawk flying instructor and was the solo Hawk display pilot in 2006. More recently he's been flying the Harrier JAR-9 and flew operationally over Afghanistan. And he joined the team this year. He's joined here today by his wife Susie, so a very big hello to her. With the smoke coming on, the team are reforming that shuttle formation you saw at the start of the show. And as they roll out to our left 45 degrees, get your cameras ready. As they roll out in shuttle.
Stop at 5, roll, go. Coming, left, now.
Reds 4 and 5 roll back, and this is Eagle.
Bank. Now, tight,
The team are now reforming that 7-arrow formation. I mentioned earlier that we were very honoured to be invited to take part in all the monumentous occasions for the United Kingdom this year. We like to think we represent the very best of British, and we aim to do that at all of the events throughout the summer. So, for the best of British, some red, white and blue in 7-arrow. Formed a diamond with 7 aircraft. We call this the short diamond.
Coming, right, now. Holding the bank, now. Tight, big.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that completes the first half of our display, where you've seen close formation flown in a rather dynamic fashion. We're now going to change the tempo as we show you how the Hawk can perform. The Red Arrows fly the BAE Systems Hawk T1, which was designed as an advanced jet and weapons trainer and has been in service with the Royal Air Force since 1976. As the smoke comes on, this is the detonator.
Recovery. Go.
Fly down the hill Synchro are now closing at over 800 miles an hour, just 100 feet above the runway, to perform the synchro pass. They're now turning away from us at 6G, or 6 times the force of gravity, and everything in their bodies weighs 6 times more than normal. So those pilots are working physically hard to counter those G-forces. As they roll out back towards us, this is the Cyclone. The inside pilots perform tight match barrel rolls to the outside of the formation as they fly the rollbacks. Smoke turns blue as he flies a barrel roll around Red 6 in the vortex. To 100 feet above the runway, these are the double rolls. Have eased up slightly to widen the formation. And as the colour comes on, this is the Revolution. Enid there in the Revolution flying synchronised aileron roll manoeuvres. As they position to the left, we need to look left and right again for the synchro pair. This time, Red 6 is on our right and Red 7 on our left. Reds 1 to 5.
Keegan sees you as a daughter,
As those aircraft swing out like a pendulum, they start a manoeuvre called the Helix. In the Helix there, Reds 2 to 5 are trying to hide behind Red 1 smoke. His smoke is produced by injecting regular diesel fuel into the aircraft's 400-degree engine exhaust, which causes it to vaporise. The red and blue colours are made by simply adding a dye to that diesel, and we can carry 5 minutes of white smoke and a minute each of red and blue. You see now Enid fanned out back into that battle formation for some more red, white and blue as they complete the Helix. This is the opposition barrel roll. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the synchro pair. Now look directly to the front as we see Enid approaching for the final manoeuvre of the display. Red 1 smoke has turned red and he pitches up to draw the symbol for infinity around the rest of the formation. This is the infinity break. And we are the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team, the Red